War is rarely the result of a single event. Instead, it is the culmination of years, sometimes decades of political tensions, broken treaties, and ideological clashes. The Franco-Prussian War and the Treaty of Frankfurt in 1871 left deep scars, with France losing Alsace-Lorraine to Germany. The Balkan Wars further destabilized the region, creating a hotbed of nationalist fervor and ethnic tensions. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo in 1914 was the spark that ignited the powder keg. The Treaty of Versailles, which ended World War I, imposed harsh penalties on Germany, sowing the seeds for future conflict. The rise of Nazism in Germany was fueled by economic hardship and national humiliation. These conflicts were shaped by complex causes. Join us as we unravel the chain of events that led to the most devastating wars in human history. June 28, 1914, Sarajevo. A moment in history that changed everything. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, is assassinated by Gavrilo Princip, a Bosnian Serb nationalist. Franz Ferdinand was a prominent figure in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, known for his progressive views and plans to reform the empire. His assassination was meticulously planned by the Black Hand, a secret military society committed to Serbian nationalism. While this was the immediate spark, the fire had been smouldering for years. The early 20th century was marked by a complex web of alliances and rivalries. The Triple Entente, consisting of France, Russia, and the United Kingdom, stood against the Triple Alliance of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. The roots of these tensions can be traced back to the Franco-Prussian War of 1870 to 1871. The war ended with the Treaty of Frankfurt, which saw France cede the territories of Alsace and Lorraine to the newly unified German Empire. This loss was a significant blow to French national pride and created a deep-seated desire for revenge, known as revanchism. Nationalist movements in the Balkans, particularly among Serbs, sought independence from Austro-Hungarian rule, creating a volatile political climate. The Balkans, often referred to as the powder keg of Europe, were a hotbed of ethnic tensions and nationalist aspirations. Serbs, along with other ethnic groups, were driven by a strong desire for self-determination and the creation of a greater Serbia. This fervent nationalism was fueled by historical grievances and a sense of cultural identity, leading to frequent uprisings and conflicts in the region. Militarism and an arms race further heightened tensions, as nations built up their military forces in preparation for potential conflict. Diplomatic efforts to ease tensions often failed, as mutual distrust and competing interests dominated the political landscape. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand was the catalyst that ignited the already volatile situation, leading to the outbreak of World War I. In 1935, Italy invaded Ethiopia, marking a significant event in the lead-up to World War II. The Italian forces used chemical weapons, causing widespread devastation and international outrage. The international response was one of condemnation, but the League of Nations failed to take effective action, highlighting the weaknesses in global diplomacy at the time. (1919) The Treaty of Versailles. Intended to bring lasting peace, it did the opposite. Germany was forced to accept full blame for the war, pay massive reparations, and surrender key territories. Economic devastation followed. The Weimar Republic struggled with hyperinflation, unemployment, and political instability. By the 1930s, resentment had festered into extremism. In Germany, a wounded nation turned to Adolf Hitler, who promised to restore its former glory. Across Europe and Asia, aggressive nationalism surged. Fascist ideologies took root, with leaders like Mussolini in Italy and Franco in Spain. Japan invaded Manchuria in 1931, Italy took Ethiopia in 1935, and Hitler violated the Treaty of Versailles by rebuilding Germany's military. Yet, the world hesitated to act. 1936 to 1939, the Spanish Civil War became a testing ground for Germany's new blitzkrieg tactics. Franco's nationalists, supported by Hitler and Mussolini, clashed with the Republicans. The Luftwaffe's bombing of Guernica foreshadowed the terror that awaited Europe. In 1938, the Munich Agreement symbolized the failure of appeasement, allowing Hitler to take the Sudetenland. British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain believed it would ensure peace, but appeasement only emboldened him. In 1939, Germany invaded Poland, triggering World War II. World War II was a war of rapid movements and brutal clashes. The German Blitzkrieg, characterized by swift and coordinated attacks using tanks, infantry, and air support, overwhelmed Poland and France. At Dunkirk, over 330,000 Allied troops were evacuated under heavy fire, a strategic retreat that saved a significant portion of the British Expeditionary Force. The Battle of Britain saw the Royal Air Force employ radar technology and agile fighter tactics to push back the Luftwaffe, proving that air superiority would define modern warfare. Churchill's words inspired a nation. "We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall never surrender." His leadership was pivotal in maintaining British morale during the darkest days of the war. The Battle of Stalingrad marked a turning point on the Eastern Front, with Soviet forces encircling and defeating the German Sixth Army through brutal urban warfare and strategic encirclement. The D-Day invasion of Normandy saw the Allies execute a massive amphibious assault, utilizing deception tactics and overwhelming force to establish a foothold in Western Europe. The Battle of the Bulge was the last major German offensive on the Western Front, where the Allies, despite initial setbacks, managed to repel the attack and deplete German resources. In the Pacific, the Battle of Iwo Jima demonstrated the ferocity of island-hopping campaigns, with US forces capturing the island after intense and costly fighting, paving the way for the eventual invasion of Japan. After the war, Churchill's influence continued as he played a significant role in shaping the post-war world. However, his party lost the 1945 election, and he spent years in opposition before returning as Prime Minister in 1951. His legacy as a wartime leader remains unparalleled, symbolizing resilience and determination. From the ashes of World War II, the United Nations was born, aiming to prevent future conflicts and foster global cooperation. The UN has faced numerous challenges, including economic instability, territorial disputes, and ideological conflicts, which still pose threats today. Despite these challenges, the UN has had successes in peacekeeping and conflict resolution. The responsibility to maintain peace falls on every generation. If you found this deep dive into history insightful, subscribe and stay with us for more powerful stories from the past. Dive deeper into history to understand its lessons. Explore the roles of iconic figures like Mussolini, Hitler, and others who shaped these events. By learning from the past, we can contribute to a more peaceful future. Get involved, stay informed, and be a part of the change.